Hello everyone, Anthony here. First I want to say I did receive some videos for white guys supposedly resisting arrests and putting cops' lives in danger and not getting shot and killed for it. I'll be reviewing those and releasing a video analyzing all that shortly at some time. So the next thing, this Jacob Blake stuff, the truth comes out, and the truth, or not the truth, but even more evidence confirming the truth and confirming what we saw before comes out. More evidence, more stuff confirming everything. The video that I posted last time showed him going into his car, and I argued he put the cops' lives in danger by going into his car, and they didn't know if he had a weapon on him and if he had a weapon in the car and all that stuff. How do I want to start this? So here's, I'll show you like the links to the videos. So there's a second camera angle that we can see like right here. I'm just going to show you the CNN link, second camera angle showing him fighting off the cops and that he was tased. I don't know if you can tell in the video that he was tased, but he was fighting off the cops and fought off the cops, got up, and that's what happened like directly before the video that I showed you guys.
The police officers beforehand.
Yeah, so I'm not going to show you like the whole video. You guys can go watch it yourselves, but he was on the ground wrestling with the cops, got up, and then casually walked to the other side of his car, because him casually resisting arrest is any different than not doing it. So then also we have the police scanner audio was released, and that's right here on Andy No's channel. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce his name, but here's a quick second from the audio from that.
40 Street. Complainant says Jacob Blake isn't supposed to be there, and he took the complainant's keys and is refusing to give them back.
So the initial police call says that some girl called saying that Jacob Blake isn't supposed to be there, and he took her keys and he's not giving them back. So that's why the cops were originally called there. I'm not sure where he was breaking up a fight between women came from. I've not seen anything anywhere to confirm that, any evidence, only stuff repeating it. And his lawyer, Ben Crump, who's representing some other black victims of police brutality when they're really not victims at all. Now we have the police statement, which we can see right here on NBC News channel. And I'm not gonna show you guys the whole thing. We will instead go to this summary from Zero Hedge, which is that he had a knife. Wisconsin Department of Justice releases update on Jacob Blake's shooting, and that comes from this. So it says, the Wisconsin Department, I'm reading the Zero Hedge article, the Wisconsin Department of Justice has just released a statement confirming that Jacob Blake had a knife in the driver's side floorboard of his car, and that he was leaning into his car when he was shot 7 times. During the incident, officers attempted to arrest Jacob S. Blake, age 29. Law enforcement deployed a taser to attempt to stop Mr. Blake. However, the taser was not successful in stopping Mr. Blake. So also, this seems that the cops didn't know about his rape charges and his domestic violence charges, the warrant for his arrest for that stuff. It seems like they just got out there because the call of his girlfriend or something like that. And don't say I'm not respecting black people because I don't know if it's his girlfriend that called the police or not. Some details just escape my mind. They're kind of irrelevant details because the police were called on him and he didn't want to be there. It doesn't matter. And the person who called the police didn't want him to be there. It doesn't matter if it was his girlfriend, his fiance, his ex-girlfriend. Completely irrelevant. So anyway, during the investigation, following the initial incident, Mr. Blake admitted that he had a knife in his possession. DCI agents recovered a knife from the driver's side floorboard of Mr. Blake's vehicle. So, like I said, it looked like he was reaching for a weapon or something because he immediately went to grab under the floorboard. We could see that in the video that I showed you guys. So Matt Walsh on Twitter says Jacob Blake was going for a weapon in the floorboard of his car. Department of Justice confirms. We're done here. Completely justified shooting because it's a self-defense shooting. Because this guy, Jacob Blake, put the cops' lives in danger by reaching for a weapon. The man had a death wish and is lucky to be alive today. If you're turning this man into a martyr, you're a moron and a liar and beneath contempt, period. I also want to point out this attorney Crump, Benjamin Crump, that's representing these black guys, these black victims of police brutality. He doesn't give a shit about you guys. He doesn't give a shit about black people. He's in it for the money and trying to get money that these police departments always end up paying out. And that could also be why these families are going with him, because they probably don't give a shit about Jacob Blake either. They're in it for the money as well. So anyway, this article continues to say, in 2015, Blake was charged with resisting arrest and one misdemeanor count, each of carrying a concealed weapon, carrying a firearm while intoxicated, endangering safety use of a dangerous weapon, and disorderly conduct, and injuring a police officer when he pulled a gun at a bar. So let me see, do I still have that article up? Yeah, I do. So, and thank you to the YouTube commenter that linked this article. You can find it at the National Post here. Or no, this isn't the right one. I don't have the article up anymore. But yeah, there's an article right up from 2015 about that, and also the Wisconsin Circuit Court access. You can look up the dockets, and it's in his court dockets and everything like that. This specific one is for the arrest warrant that was issued for his arrest for the rape charges. So this is part of the statement from the police that I'm about to read now, which you can see in the you can hear him say the statement in this video here. And that guy is the Wisconsin Attorney General. So he says, Kenosha Police Department officers were dispatched to a residence in the 2800 block of 40th Street after a female caller reported that her boyfriend was present and was not supposed to be on the premises. Why would you? So, I don't know, this is completely irrelevant, doesn't matter, but would you still be boyfriend and girlfriend if you're not allowed to be on the premises? I don't know if it's like a restraining order or what he had against him. Probably for this domestic violence and these rape allegations, sexual assault, which third-degree sexual assault is rape, criminal trespassing to a dwelling, maybe because maybe that's why he's not allowed to be there. But anyway, during the incident, officers attempted to arrest Jacob S. Blake, age 29. Law enforcement deployed a taser in an attempt to stop Mr. Blake. However, the taser was not successful in stopping Mr. Blake. Mr. Blake walked around his vehicle, opened the driver's side door, and leaned forward. While holding onto Mr. Blake's shirt, Officer Rustin Skeski fired his service weapon 7 times. So it was one officer who fired 7 times. There are people saying like, oh, 7 times is an excessive use of force. What I said responding to the comments is that we didn't know at the time if it was one officer shooting 3 times, another officer shooting 4 times, or multiple officers shooting multiple different times. But also, all that matters is how many shots it takes to end the threat to your life. Battery's about to die. But also I want to point out he was only hit 4 of those 7 times when he was shot. And you guys can say like, oh, he was up that close and missed 3 shots out of the 7 shots that he took. He needs to be fired. He's not fit for duty because he can't aim a weapon. Who knows like when he was pulling the gun out of his holster, if he was shooting it, just started shooting it as soon as he pulled it out of his holster or whatever. Who knows like what happened with that. During the struggle, he could have been like anxious and agitated, or not agitated, but anxious and shaky, having to do everything, and just shot his gun. And keep in mind, the gun looks to be pointed into the vehicle, pointed down, so it's not like he was risking anyone else's life doing that. So anyway, Officer Shesky fired the weapon into Mr. Blake's back. No other officer fired their weapon. Kenosha Police Department does not have body cameras, therefore the officers were not wearing body cameras. The shooting officer, Kenosha Police Officer Rustin Shesky, has been a law enforcement officer with the department for 7 years. During the investigation following the initial incident, Mr. Blake admitted that he had a knife in his possession. DCI agents recovered a knife from the driver's side floorboard of Mr. Blake's vehicle. A search of the vehicle located no additional weapons. So I do want to actually commend Jacob Blake for being honest and admitting that he had a knife, even though the knife was recovered from the vehicle. He was probably caught red-handed there and probably didn't have any choice but to tell the truth, because if you lie, then it just gets even worse, because now they actually have the evidence and everything. But at least he's telling the truth and not trying to gaslight through these hearings and through court and law and everything like that. Anyway, law enforcement immediately provided medical aid to Mr. Blake. Flight of Life transported Mr. Blake to Froedtert Hospital in Milwaukee. Mr. Blake remains at the hospital. So also, we do have information that he might not be able to walk again. It seems like the articles that I was reading yesterday were getting like two sides from the story. I think what looks like happened is that doctors say that he might not walk again, and then his attorney is conflating it and saying it would be a miracle if he walked again, and trying to conflate everything. So that's what happened with Jacob Blake. Like I said, I'll get to these videos, but what I wanted to correct too is that my title of my last video should have been worded a bit better, because I said like black people stop resisting arrest, and it's not resisting arrest isn't the reason that he got shot. It was putting cops' lives in danger. So if black people didn't put cops' lives in danger while they're resisting arrest, and same with white people too, then there'd be no reason to shoot him. But the only reason that he was shot was because he put the cops' lives in danger by reaching in to grab a knife.